Do not anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen. Keep in the sunlight. Happiness depends more on the inward disposition of mind than on outward circumstances. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Love your enemies, for they tell you your faults. There never was a good war or a bad peace. Look before, or you'll find yourself behind. Don't throw stones at your neighbors if your own windows are glass. He that would live in peace and at ease must not speak all he knows or judge all he sees. When you're good to others, you're best to yourself. Hide not your talents, they for use were made. What's a sundial in the shade? What more valuable than gold? Diamonds. Than diamonds? Virtue. Wish not so much to live long as to live well. If you would not be forgotten as soon as you are dead, either write something worth reading or do things worth writing. Without continual growth and progress, such words as improvement, achievement, and success have no meaning. If you'd know the value of money, go and borrow some. Where there's marriage without love, there will be love without marriage. Laws too gentle are seldom obeyed, too severe, seldom executed. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. Content makes poor men rich. Discontent makes rich men poor. For life is a kind of chess, in which we have often points to gain, and competitors or adversaries to contend with, and in which there is a vast variety of good and ill events that are, in some degree, the effect of prudence or the want of it. So convenient a thing is it to be a reasonable creature, since it enables one to find or make a reason for everything one has a mind to do. Don't value a man for the quality he is of, but for the qualities he possesses. As we enjoy great advantages from the inventions of others, we should be glad of an opportunity to serve others by any invention of ours, and this we should do freely and generously. Having been poor is no shame, but being ashamed of it is. I grew convinced that truth, sincerity, and integrity in dealings between man and man were of the utmost importance to the felicity of life. The way to see by faith is to shut the eye of reason. Teach your child to hold his tongue. He'll learn fast enough to speak. Visits should be short, like a winter's day, lest you're too troublesome, hasten away. The poor have little, beggars none, the rich too much, enough not one. Better slip with foot than tongue. A man being sometimes more generous when he has but a little money than when he has plenty, perhaps through fear of being thought to have but little. Remember not only to say the right thing in the right place, but far more difficult still, to leave unsaid the wrong thing at the tempting moment. 'Tis a great confidence in a friend to tell him your faults, greater to tell him his. The person who deserves most pity is a lonesome one on a rainy day who doesn't know how to read. Educate your children to self-control, to the habit of holding passion and prejudice and evil tendencies subject to an upright and reasoning will, and you have done much to abolish misery from their future and crimes from society. He that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. Whatever is begun in anger ends in shame. The heart of a fool is in his mouth, but the mouth of a wise man is in his heart. Be slow in choosing a friend, slower in changing. Trouble knocked at the door, but hearing laughter, hurried away. Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing. Many people die at 25 and aren't buried until they are 75. We are all born ignorant, but one must work hard to remain stupid. Justice will not be served until those who are unaffected are as outraged as those who are. If all printers were determined not to print anything till they were sure it would offend nobody, there would be very little printed. Be at war with your vices, at peace with your neighbors, and let every new year find you a better man. Keep your eyes wide open before marriage, half shut afterwards. Who is wise? He that learns from everyone. Who is powerful? He that governs his passions. Who is rich? He that is content. Who is that? Nobody. The best thing to give to your enemy is forgiveness, to an opponent, tolerance, to a friend, your heart, to your child, a good example, to a father, deference, to your mother, conduct that will make her proud of you, to yourself, respect, to all others, charity. A house is not a home unless it contains food and fire for the mind as well as the body. All mankind is divided into 3 classes: those that are immovable, those that are movable, and those that move. The only thing that is more expensive than education is ignorance. It takes many good deeds to build a good reputation, and only one bad one to lose it. To be humble to superiors is a duty, to equals courtesy, to inferiors nobleness. For the best return on your money, pour your purse into your head. Tricks and treachery are the practice of fools that don't have brains enough to be honest. There are 3 things extremely hard: steal a diamond, and to know one's self. Many a man thinks he is buying pleasure when he is really selling himself to it. So convenient a thing to be a reasonable creature, since it enables one to find or make a reason for everything one has a mind to do. Reading makes a full man, meditation a profound man, discourse a clear man. For every minute spent in organizing, an hour is earned. How few there are who have courage enough to own their faults, or resolution enough to mend them. Happiness consists more in the small conveniences of pleasures that occur every day than in great pieces of good fortune that happen but seldom to a man in the course of his life. A false friend and a shadow attend only while the sun shines. The way to wealth is as plain as the way to market. It depends chiefly on 2 words: industry and frugality. That is, waste neither time nor money, but make the best use of both. Without industry and frugality, nothing will do, and with them, everything. When the well is dry, we know the value of water. You only have the right to pursue happiness. You have to catch it yourself. Thinking aloud is a habit which is responsible for most of mankind's misery. Sloth makes all things difficult, but industry all easy, and he that riseth late must trot all day, and shall scarce overtake his business at night, while laziness travels so slowly that poverty soon overtakes him. Experience keeps a dear school, but fools will learn in no other, and scarce in that. If you give up your freedom for safety, you don't deserve either one. All highly competent people continually search for ways to keep learning, growing, and improving. They do that by asking why. After all, the person who knows how will always have a job, but the person who knows why will always be the boss. He that has once done you a kindness will be more ready to do you another than he whom you yourself have obliged. He that speaks much is much mistaken. Be studious in your profession, and you will be learned. Be industrious and frugal, and you will be rich. Be sober and temperate, and you will be healthy. Be in general virtuous, and you will be happy. At least you will, by such conduct, stand the bee. In reality, there is perhaps no one of our natural passions so hard to subdue as pride. Disguise it, struggle with it, beat it down, stifle it, mortify it as much as one pleases. It is still alive, and will every now and then peep out and show itself. You will see it perhaps often in this history. For even if I could conceive that I had completely overcome it, I should probably be proud of my humility. Without freedom of thought, there can be no such thing as wisdom, and no such thing as public liberty without freedom of speech. There are two ways to increase your wealth: increase your means or decrease your wants. The best is to do both at the same time. The bitterness of poor quality remains long after the sweetness of low price is forgotten. A man must have a good deal of vanity who believes, and a good deal of boldness who affirms, that all the doctrines he holds are true, and all he rejects are false.